Hope you're all doing well. So I felt like we should do a pick a card reading. This is just a general reading. It's not theme specific. We'll just see what messages want to come through. So we'll do 3 different groups, and I'll put up a picture of the cards and the crystals I'm going to show you, so you can pause it when that picture's up and just kind of meditate on the energy, see what you're drawn to the most. Of course, you can watch more than one group if you feel like it. So the first group is this Lapis stone, and let's see what card we get. Harmony. Beautiful. The second group is this green calcite with Anguish. I just posted about this on my Instagram. Very interesting. Okay, like that card in particular. The third group is the Amethyst. And the card we are getting from that is Obstacle. Wow, they seem very different, although you never know. It could be one big long message, so you'll have to trust your intuition on which one you choose. Hi, group 1. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the Lapis stone. So this stone is representative of the throat chakra. So it's about speaking your truth, but it's also about hearing the truth of others. So when your throat chakra is clear and in alignment and activated, you're able to really listen to others and hear what it is they want to say that maybe isn't coming out in the words that they speak. So sometimes, I'm hearing lapis. Okay, but I was going to say your throat chakra. Interesting. Sometimes lapis can allow you to read between the lines. Ooh, so maybe this is a stone you want to pick up or meditate on. You know, you don't actually have to physically own it. You could just look at a picture of it and just feel the vibrations that come off of this particular stone as you see it. But there's something about being able to read between the lines. There's also an element of connecting to others who are in sync with your own vibration. And I feel like that's where the harmony card is coming in. There's a group of people, perhaps your soul tribe, who you are finding healing and resonance with at this time. Now, I'm also getting this message that it doesn't have to necessarily be a group of people you know. It could be music that you're listening to, or it could be lectures that you're listening to, or some kind of vibration, maybe a singing bowl. I'm also seeing like a subway go by, and it's like feeling the vibration of the people on the subway. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I don't know if somebody's actually doing that, like sitting in a subway station, kind of feeling the vibration of the people. But if that's not what you're doing, it definitely is an image to hold in your mind of how we can connect to others through sensation and find out whether we harmonize with another or not. This stone is also one of psychic protection. Okay, and I feel like you are coming into a time of alignment in which others might begin to kind of fade away or fall off. I'm hearing the Richter scale. Isn't that to measure like hurricanes? Yeah. Okay, but it's like falling off the Richter scale. It's like other people around you, you're just not jiving with them. There's something about them not being able to understand your path or the current journey that you're on. And so let that fade away. Let it fall away. It's for your psychic protection. So if there's people in your life who are, you know, not contacting you, not calling you, not checking in on you, or you're just not finding that they understand you, let things kind of filter out naturally. Don't try to hold on to something or revive something. Now, this is a general message, so always use your intuition. But I feel like as you ascend, as you come into alignment, what happens is you begin to trigger others who are not in alignment. And because of the ego and such, other people, when they're triggered, they can begin to project their so-called shortcomings or the areas that they need to work on onto you. So they may, for example, say, geez, you always seem like so down, or you're always so complex by things, or why are you always rushing around? You know, these kinds of like criticism type things, or, you know, criticisms, or even someone saying, oh, you're so emotional, but like in a negative way. Whatever it is, understand that these are things they're beginning to realize in themselves that either they need to work on. Either they are, let's use the you're so emotional, either they're overly emotional and they need to kind of reel it in, or they're not in tune with their emotions enough. And so therefore you being in tune with your emotions kind of sends them into this self-reflective state in the psyche of where am I in relationship to this one who is ascending, who I can clearly see is on their path. So that sets off, I'm hearing a trigger warning here for this person. Interesting. So I feel like there's people triggered around you, and the projection of their own anxieties on you are a form of psychic attack. So it's not necessarily that these people are trying to attack you, although you might be around someone who is, for some of you, but without the awareness, without your awareness that they are working through something, and without their awareness of that they are working through something, I'm hearing calcify. It can be easy to calcify their energy with your own, into your own. And Spirit doesn't want that to happen because you are clearly ascending here. I actually want to read the card for harmony and see what it says. As with a moving symphony, a harmonious state of accord is reached through shared vision and attunement to a higher purpose. Working with others to achieve this state accentuates progress in areas of life that may feel dissonant. So if you are feeling dissonant and disconnected from others or even yourself, it's likely that there are some energies you're trying to hold on to, or those around you who aren't serving you at this time. Now, it's for some of you, you need to definitely shed that old skin of other people, right? That you've been kind of attached to. I'm hearing like you've been wearing their old skin. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Maybe carrying their karma, carrying their burdens, or trying to be a different version of yourself so that you could be with someone or could be there for someone, but really that's not you anymore. So some of you need to get rid of those people altogether. And then others of you, you just need to create some distance, some space, and some time for you to allow the energies that need to come through for you to progress on your spiritual ascension without the distraction of other people's shadow and projection getting in the way. So let's pull out the tarot cards here, and we're going to do past, present, future, I think. Past, present, future. Or maybe we should do, well, we'll do a few things actually. I'd like to look a little further. Okay. I see that you were trying really hard to make something work. Ace of Cups in the past. I'm going to also use these cards here. See, you, whoever I'm speaking to, you are a guide yourself, and you are a spirit guide, and you are a healer. And whether you knew it in the past or not, it's not the point, I'm hearing. You had a certain mission to bring something into the light or bring someone into the light here, in a creative way, I'm hearing. But it went a little bit further than necessary. At some point, you were supposed to release and let that soul figure out whether they were going to come into the light or not. But you held on a little bit too tightly here. Okay? And that's okay. That's just kind of being a human, right? It's hard to let go, especially when we care about someone or something. It could be even like a career path of yours. It doesn't have to necessarily be a person. Yeah. These cards are beautiful. The colors are just really nice. I felt so guided to show you that. Okay. We back? We're back. Okay. So, in the past, Ace of Cups with you are light. Sometimes we think that if we give all of ourselves or we show all of the love we have to give to someone, that they'll just get it. They'll just understand us. Or they'll just start to take that love in as their own. But I feel like here, and the only reason why I'm feeling like this was maybe something that was difficult is because in the present moment we have the 10 of Wands, which is showing me that this task I'm hearing or this connection that you had was something that was really a lot of work, was really hard, was really onerous, and I don't feel like your intentions were received. I don't feel like it was harmonious, but you were really trying to make it so. We think about this overflowing cup as beautiful, right? Like, oh, you have overflowing energy, overflowing love, and first you should fill your own cup, and then whatever drips off, is to nourish someone else. But I'm thinking here, I'm literally seeing someone give you a cup that's spilling over. Nobody likes that, right? Nobody likes to receive a drink that's like about to spill onto them. So you have to think about that. Because I feel like that's something that you attempted to do, was spill onto someone in a way that came from the light, right? Like, you are lacking this in your life as I perceive it, so I will give you what I have to give you to help you, that kind of thing. But that person's like, whoa, I don't want that. That's going to spill on me. And I'm not, I'm wearing something I don't want to get that on. Like, I'm not ready for that, or, something like that. They weren't ready to receive it. And it's understandable. I feel like the message is, it's understandable. What needed to be done, and for some of you, you did, okay, but others of you didn't, is just to fill the cup up enough so it's manageable, your own cup, and allow them to see that you had everything you needed. And not necessarily to give it to them. I hope this is making sense. Because there's a little bit of confusion of how to show someone your love. And it's nothing you did. This person wasn't ready to receive it. That's the best way to put it. And this sounds kind of strange, right? But don't fill up your cup so much that it's spilling over, that when you present to somebody else, they're like a little nervous to take it, right? Like, oh my God, if it's a hot drink, that's going to burn me, right? Or if it's something like red wine, I don't want it to spill on me. I don't want it to stain me. There's something with that analogy there that you need to be careful of. portion control is what I'm hearing. Okay? Interesting. Now, in the present, we have the Ten of Wands with raw intention. What I'm seeing here is you're really focused on your intention in this connection, in this dynamic, in this situation. You want, you're coming from a good place, or you did in the past and you're reflecting on it. But you really want that intention of yours to be felt by another. But why? But why? What does it mean to you for someone to know your intentions? Why does it hurt when somebody doesn't know how you truly feel? Where is that coming from? I mean, really, all in all, it's their loss. If you are coming from a place of light and love here, love and light, I'm totally seeing that, and it becomes a burden for another, or it becomes even a burden for you, then hearing then there's a need to walk away. There's a need to walk away. Okay, in the future, Queen of Cups. I feel like I need a advice though for the present moment. Queen of Cups. Okay, we'll go to the future then. Queen of Cups and the Three of Wands. All right. Look towards the future is your current advice here. If you're feeling like this, or you're focused on another person even feeling like this, maybe this represents someone you're very close to. Whatever it is, feeling burdened, weighed down, like something has ended, but the ending is sitting on top of you so heavy, like you can't relieve yourself from that weight. Perhaps because you're not sure what another's intentions even were with you. Look towards the future. Where do you want to go next? What do you want to dive into? The card that came out with this is in the flow with money. And money is energy. There's nothing wrong with making money. It allows us to sustain ourselves and do many things in the world. How did money factor into this connection that we're talking about here? Was there some guilt you felt? Justice. There was something unequal in this connection or in this relationship when it came to money. And that is the energy around money, somebody's relationship to it, someone's perception of it, somebody's perception of you related to money. Money could also be success here or resources. I'm hearing karmic family. This could also be something related to how somebody else's family dealt with money or how your family deals with money. There's something here that I feel maybe you were trying to give someone resources here and that felt like a burden to them, because they couldn't do it. They needed to do it for themselves. Okay, let's keep going. Wow, all swords here. There's something here about, one second. This is not something that's totally conscious, but there's something about like carrying the projections of another person. So there's almost like a desire. It's a tension though. It's not necessarily that you want to do it, but you feel compelled or pushed to almost prove yourself to someone. But with the grain of salt, like you're aware that this isn't what you should be doing or need to be doing, but it's still something is there. It's like I can't move on until they get it. I can't move on until they understand. I can't move on until I no longer accept the projections that they put on me. And I feel like with your conscious mind, you don't accept those projections. But this person, this situation has hit on something much deeper within you. And there has been something, I'm hearing burrowed within you here. Something, yes, it's a wound they've touched on. Something they've said, maybe in relationship to money, maybe in relationship to love, how you give, that it still needs to be worked through. This is somebody or something in your life that has really hit a spot in you, which is great in the end because it brings out things for us to work on, for us to ascend and evolve. You know, when you go through spiritual ascension and you bring your chakras into harmony and you have the throat chakra clearing going on, it's not easy. Okay? It's hard. It doesn't always feel good. And so this person, I'm hearing this soul, was brought here to bring awareness to some deep buried part of you. I feel like it's ancestral. I feel like it's very karmic. It could be past life. But there's a knot. I'm hearing like a knot here in the soul, you know, and it's not bad. It's just something that needs to be worked out. And this person keeps hitting on it, whether you're with them or not. It's like they keep activating that wound, and you keep trying to do something to, I'm hearing immortalize it. Okay, I don't know what that is. Immortalize maybe the connection, immortalize your will, your strength. But it's like you keep trying to do something to fix it. So what's the problem? What needs to be done then? I have another page of swords. 5 of swords, 3 of cups, and the devil. The fool. I'm sensing there's a deep distrust of others, which is coming most likely from a very valid, once again, wounded place. And this person or this situation in which something wasn't accepted of yours that you were giving with good intentions only furthers that sense of distrust in others. Because if they can't see your intentions, I'm hearing who can. So when we have good intentions with someone, we love someone, and they see it and they let us know, I know you love me. I feel so loved by you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all of you do. All of that feels really good, right? It's super validating. And it affirms what we already know to be true within ourselves about our nature, our good nature, right? Good nature. Everybody who has goodness within them, which is most people, regardless of levels of toxicity, there's usually some goodness in there. You know, I'm sure there are some other types in the world, but generally speaking. And everybody wants that part to be seen, loved, and cherished. So what happens when it's not? When it's constantly being, I'm hearing, sidestepped, or constantly being questioned or looked over? It's painful. But don't let others get you to question yourself. If someone can't see your love and light and your good nature, it's because they can't see that within themselves. It says more about them than it does you. This is a lesson, this group, and it's a big one. And once you master it, really, there's I'm hearing the pinnacle. It's like at the top. It's like the peak of awareness. I'm hearing. It's like this is a lesson about really knowing who you are, what your intentions are, where you're coming from, where your weak spots are, what you need to work on, but really understanding that I know my intentions. I know that I love this person. I know that I want the best for this person. And if they don't see it, if they don't understand it, yes, it may hurt, but it's not up to me to try to prove myself or fix it for them, fix their perception, fix their throat chakra for them. It's also not up to me to try to get them to read between the lines. Interesting. Yeah. So release this, because I'm hearing because you are on your path. Okay, I need a card to close this one out. That was really, I don't know, intense. The vibe is very different in this reading if you can't tell. Something about the energy today. I think the moon, or was that yesterday? Moon is squaring Saturn in retrograde. That's also a big part of this reading, is Saturn in retrograde. So it's bringing back those past karmic hurts for us to really work them out, really iron out those last parts. Okay, can we get a closing message for group 1? Rainbow dragon. I forget what this card means. Oh yeah, there's something in boundaries at the bottom. Boundaries around your energy. But there is something in the book about this card about what color calls to you the most when you look at this card. And then what chakra does that color relate to? Is it red for the root? Is it purple for the third eye and intuition and the crown chakra? Indigo, yellow, solar plexus, green, heart, orange, sacral? What color are you drawn to? And maybe that's the chakra that you need to focus on at this time. But remember, no matter how other people see you, maybe they see you as a dragon type figure. Maybe they see you as surreal, not real, or a little bit dangerous, maybe a little bit unpredictable, something they want to tame. Regardless of how they see you, you are in the light. And you don't need to cover up this dragon. It's interesting. I had a dragon tattoo on my arm, and I covered it up. I covered it up with a fairy, actually, with wings. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, is more like it feels scorpionic to me. Like I transmuted that dragon, that raw intention, into light with the fairy, a gentleness. Very neat. So I feel like you're doing something similar here. You're taking that raw intention you have. You don't need to change it or hide it. Just understand how to work with it in a way that is gentle to yourself, I feel like is the message. All right, group one, I hope that helped. I love you so much. Thank you for all of your support on this channel, and I'll see you next time. Okay. Okay, group two with the green calcite and the Anguish card. So green calcite has many meanings, but the one that I wanted to talk to you about is memory. It's a good stone to activate your memory. So I feel like coming out with the card Anguish, there is something that you are thinking about from the past that is bringing you to a higher state of consciousness. What's happening as I feel it is that you understand that this memory that you're working through is important for your soul's growth. It's important to work through the memory as well as how you remember it. But you can't really see at this point, I'm hearing at this juncture, where this is going to take you. Where is this going to go? How will things mold into one another? I also feel like you are not the only one, I heard. There is 3 people, 3, 5. I heard 3 and 5. 3 and 5 people. Okay, that's a lot. Around you who are dealing with memories of you, who have memories of you, in which they feel, I'm hearing, depleted. Let's read this card. Entangled in negative emotions, the mind is ensnared. In this state, it can be difficult to see beyond the black and white bramble of suffering. Take a step back and remember, we have the power to choose a different perspective. Allow us to be more at peace through difficult times. Interesting, the stutter there. Taking a step back and remembering we have the power to choose a different perspective allows us to be more at peace through different times. So I feel like with my stutter there, the kind of the misreading, the disjuncture, like the disconnect in thought flow there is interesting because I got it up to the point of different perspective. But then once it came to what does that different perspective allow, things got a little bit out of sync. So when you gain a different perspective on something, what does it allow you to do? I feel like that's the question you have. Okay, so going over these memories in my mind, trying to see things from a different angle, a different light. What is it even going to allow me to do? And here it says it allows us to be more at peace through difficult times. And I wrote this out on my Instagram when I posted that. And that was also, I was thinking about that phrase too. Allows us to be more at peace through difficult times. Is that true? How is that true? I guess one way in which that is true is it allows you to see that you have the power over your own mind. How you want to remember something is ultimately creates it ultimately creates the reality of the past. Your shaping of the memory. I'm getting something here, and this might just be for someone about like trauma. And how, depending on who you are in your situation and your events, you may not remember certain things about a particular traumatic event or person in your life who inflicted trauma or that you experienced trauma with. And that when that happens, well, there's a lot going on, but it's your brain protecting yourself from something that it can't really comprehend, or that feels it's, if you were to remember something, there's a notion in the mind I'm hearing that you would be in a state of life or death. So remembering that would cause a reaction in your body that would be so intense that it would throw your perspective of reality off. So those memories that you can't remember, honor it. Thank yourself for it. And I feel like this is a little controversial of a message because it's not, it's up to you whether you want to try to remember something or not, maybe through therapy, or maybe through your dreams, or maybe your own meditations, your own self-analysis, your own shadow work. And some things we do need to remember, but that is all up to you. Nobody else can tell you you need to remember this. You need to recall that in order to heal from it. The difficulty is sometimes when we can't remember something that brought us a lot of anguish, we can get triggered and not know why we're triggered. For example, if something traumatic happened and there was a certain smell around, well, maybe you'll lose the memory of that traumatic event, but then you'll smell that something, and suddenly your mood, you'll get dysregulated, you'll get really anxious, maybe you'll have some PTSD symptoms, whatever it is, or maybe you'll get angry, whatever it is, and you're not really sure why or where that's coming from because you haven't connected that memory to the smell. So in those cases, it's very helpful to make the connections. Very helpful. And it doesn't have to be something so external like that. It could be somebody's tone of voice. It could be a look they give you. It could be the way somebody touches your hand. It could be anything, really, anything. And you just start feeling something that you didn't feel before, and you're not sure why. And so it's very helpful to know where that's coming from, yes. But then there are also times where you have to trust your guides, I'm hearing. Okay, you have to trust your guides that some things are gone, I'm hearing. I don't know. Psychology would say it was never gone, I suppose. But I'm hearing that your guides have, it's like almost erased certain things for you. I don't know personally what I think of that message, but that's what I'm getting. So that you don't feel the anguish. So navigating between whether you should remember something or not that brings you a lot of pain is really up to you and no one else. I guess this message is all about being a guide for yourself through your own anguish. There's no right or wrong way here. Let's get some tarot cards and see what's going on. Anguish. Okay. So in the past, we have the Hangman here. I'm going to pull out some of these cards to kind of get some more information. But in the present moment, we have the King of Wands. So this is you remembering a time in which you suffered and sacrificed. The Hangman is a card about gaining a new perspective on something. But in order to do that, well, this is a card that can speak about Odin and Odin's sacrifice that he made to gain a higher understanding, a new level of consciousness. But there had to be a sacrifice that was made here in order for that to happen. And I feel like this is you reflecting on that suffering and the sacrifices that happened in your life. Yes, it brought you to a new spiritual path, but it doesn't eliminate or erase the hardship of it all. So this is also something we hear a lot about, right? And I'm sure I've said it too, maybe in a flippant way, and I apologize if I have, but it's like, yeah, that thing that you went through that fucking sucked. Be thankful for it because it got you to this place where you are now, in a much wiser, spiritually ascended place. And well, that is true. That can sound harsh or flippant or not deal with the complexity of the journey. To get from A to B wasn't so simple. And I guess in saying something like that, there's also a message embedded in there that, you should be thankful maybe to somebody who really hurt you. And that's really hard to do, right? So I feel like these are all kind of questions that you're working through at this time. I'm also feeling like there's an element of guilt in here. I feel like this is guilt on your behalf. And that's okay. I mean, we all feel guilt one time or another. Maybe you feel guilty that you let yourself down even, right? It doesn't have to be that you feel guilty in relation to another. It could. Let's see what this is about here. You are magic. Ooh, group 1 got this. Inflow with money. Let me clarify this money thing here. What are we talking about with the inflow with money? Ace of Wands. Yes. You're worth this new opportunity that you're either being presented with now, you're in the middle of, or you're heading towards. It's okay to receive from it. Even if you feel guilty, even if you feel a sense of anguish around the situation, or you're witnessing someone else feel anguished, you still, I'm hearing, are allowed and supposed to take this new opportunity here to receive abundance. Be careful of, memories are useful, okay? But memories, it's not that they should be erased or they should fade or anything. it's memories are neutral. It's how you perceive them that matters, right? What did it say? What it allows you allows you to be at peace through difficult times. Well, that's certainly true too. If you think about a memory that was a time and space in which you were having a terrible time compared to now, I mean, it does give you perspective. But you are allowed to succeed right now. You are allowed to transmute the pain and the suffering into something abundant for yourself. You don't need to feel guilty about that. Spirit wants you to remember that you are magic. And part of magic is transmutation. It's taking one energy, doing something with it, and turning it into another. Really, that's what magic is. And this is telling me something about a memory of trauma and suffering. And Spirit's desire, interesting. Spirit's encouragement, but desire did come through, to transform it into something else. There was also, what happened in the past here with you. I feel like showing you this again. What happened in the past with you that brought you such pain and anguish? I'm hearing, wasn't fair. And your magic was a threat. Okay, there's something about you being born, and I'm hearing a council looking at you, council of light, but then also, like your light attracts those who want it. Like energy vampire type deal, right? It's like, okay, so your magic was attacked. I feel like that's what you need to recognize. Yeah, okay, that I'm feeling that right there, okay? Your magic is what was attacked, not your personality, okay? Not your spirit, not even your body. Now, of course, all of this could have been literally, but shift the thinking about it being your magic was attacked. And are you going to let your magic go? Are you going to let your magic suffer any longer? Or are you going to do something with that magic now? Don't let anyone or anything try to make you feel like you are not a magical being, that you do not have powers to transmute and be abundant. This is like, you're a leader, maybe even a leader of magic, right? And it's like there are forces here at play in your past that didn't want you to bring that out and into the light and help others. You are always destined to help others and create. And I'm hearing, and be with the one you love. So if you're concerned about love, don't be. But you need to reclaim your sense of, I'm a magical being, right? And when I say magic here, I mean at one-ment with the universe, with the world, with source. As much magic as there is in a rainbow or in nature or in a waterfall or I'm hearing 7 wonders of the world, as much magic as there is in that, there is in you. And don't let this memory tell you otherwise. Transform it into something else. Your future coming up, which I feel like is like really close future, we have the 9 of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Five of Swords. That's heavy. And I pulled a card to clarify that, and I got, fill your cup up with sacred giggles. When's the last time you laughed? Like had a real, like, ho, 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 kind of laugh, right? Did you laugh there? Did you smile there? You know, like when's the last time you did that? Maybe you want to sit there and do that. Feel really stupid and dumb. Ho, 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 ho. You know, do it. There's something here about you needing to laugh out some energy. So you could watch something that makes you laugh, but of course you could make yourself laugh. Do you make yourself laugh? Laughter is the best medicine. Okay, so try it. And if you can't laugh, then create something. Like artistically, even if you feel like you're not artistically inclined, create something. I'm hearing, even if it's like building a fire. The energy needs to be released, in other words. But I'm seeing you here in these cards being so in anguish, so stressed out, worried. But it's not stress. It is anguish. It is that word. It is like twisted up inside, you know? Unable to release, unable to find that sense of peace and calm. Because you do not trust others. Because you're trying to protect yourself from further heartbreak and bullshit games. But being in this energy only extends the anguish further. So these lessons, you know, these difficult things that bring us anguish, heartbreak, trauma, what have you, death, and so forth, we can sit in that energy, I'm hearing, for as long as we want and prolong the anguish, or we can change it. And if this is related to someone perpetrating an act of violence on you, whether that's emotional violence, spiritual violence, physical violence, whatever the violence is here, and I am hearing that word, do not allow them to continue to inflict that by them, I'm hearing painting your world gray, right? So that you're pessimistic about everyone and everything out there and everyone's attentions. Don't allow them to dull your magic with that kind of outlook on life and others. Of course, it's good. Maybe you needed a dose of reality that there are bad actors out in the world. Maybe you needed that. Okay, fair enough. But don't extend that grayness to everything. You know, I'm hearing that 9 Inch Nails lyric. Gray would be the color if I had a heart. You know? That's not you. That's not you. Boundaries and protection. You can still protect yourself and you can still have boundaries and feel that lightness and hope and optimism in the world. And that is actually, when you get to that place where kind of your naivete falls away maybe a little bit, right? You realize the reality of things, yet you still are able to play and be hopeful and have faith in your guides and the universe and yourself and your soul. The world becomes, I'm hearing, a safer place for you to ascend in. So keep your boundaries, right? To keep those who you don't want out. But don't create boundaries that keep you stuck in. Get a last word here. Yeah. Don't let the memory become the current reality. See through it. See it for what it is. Understand its purpose. Understand the feeling of anguish and what it's trying to tell you. Every feeling that we get, whether it's laughter and joy or whether it's pain and anguish, is trying to tell us something about ourselves. Call attention to something that we need to heal, something we need to cherish, hold dear to us, a part of us that was injured that maybe we've been ignoring or neglecting. So understand that these memories, the anguish you have around these memories, are trying to get you to realize that it's time to do something with them. And I think, the big message in your reading here, group 2, is you are magic. So what do you want to do with your magic? All right, group 2, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for opening up, and I love you so much. Okay. Group number 2 with the amethyst and the obstacle. The amethyst, sorry for the pause there, but maybe there's a message in taking a pause, taking a breath, because there is an obstacle here, right? And when there's an obstacle, you can view it as a block or you can view it as a challenge. There's more than one way to get around this thing that is standing in your way or standing in between you and something you want. There's a strategy I'm hearing. I'm hearing there's a pattern. There's a pattern here that you can identify that will help you move around this obstacle. Interesting. So the amethyst is a stone of psychic power and intuition. It's also a stone that can help with addiction. And I feel like for someone, not all of you, but for someone, the obstacle is some kind of addiction. It could be an addiction to some kind of substance, a behavior, a person, a way of thinking. And so to overcome this addiction, this pattern, right? Yeah, I heard pattern. You need to focus on your intuition and your psychic power. Okay, let's get into your cards. I'm curious. Oh, I want to read the obstacle card, actually, see what it says. Are you the kind of person who apologizes a lot, like sometimes for no reason? Or are you the kind of person who's very conscious of when you should apologize and when you shouldn't? Or, I guess there's a third option, are you the kind of person who never apologizes? I don't know, that question came up. Okay, so we may experience what we perceive to be a problem or hindrance to accomplishing a goal, but in fact, this issue is not as solid as it first appears. Examining our options from all angles may allow us to find a place of entry that was previously overlooked. Yes, there is definitely a way to overcome this obstacle. And in something about recognizing a pattern here that's either playing out around you, with you, or from within you. Is this your pattern or is this somebody else's pattern? Like, is this obstacle formed in relationship with someone else? Or is it purely of your own making? I guess this is where the psychic intuition comes in. When it comes to knowing why this obstacle is here. So group 3, I'm getting clearly here that there is something about this obstacle that seems to be part of another person's pattern. Maybe it's ancestral, maybe it's a connection you're in. Let's get the cards. Wow. Okay, yeah, the moon. It's interesting. Looks kind of like an obstacle here. We have the 10 of Swords for the past, the Page of Cups for the present, and the Ace of Swords for the future. Look at this. The obstacle. Something's contained. Your energy, your creative energy is being contained. Your love or your connection with another. Let's pull out some of these cards so we can get some more clarity on this obstacle. Some of you, there's a few different things going on here, but for some of you, you feel addicted to someone from the past. Of course, this could be someone else's energy I'm picking up on, but I feel like for whoever that is for, it's for you. And you're not sure why, because it did come to a painful ending here. You're going to understand why. I'm hearing in a moment. For others of you, the obstacle really is just not knowing how to go ahead, go farther, I'm hearing, go forward. Oh, interesting. Some of you need to I'm smiling there because I'm hearing a phrase that I say often with someone, and it's like a joke we say, but we say it's not what you bought, it's what you got. And I'm seeing that here, the distraction of shiny things. For some of you, you need to reflect more on your spending habits or things that you accumulate and collect. Are they filling a void here? What you own should enhance what you already have, I'm hearing. What you own is a reflection of you and your energy, I'm hearing. Are there things you own that you don't like? What parts of you does that reflect? Some of you really need to clear out your space here. You could be hoarding some things, okay? Or maybe you're just addicted to like buying things or shopping or something like this. It's not going to be for all of you, but the obstacle is, and it's, if that is you or whatever it is that's addicting to you, how does, could even be food, you know, but like what is the trigger? What is the trigger? What is the pattern here? What foods do you eat? Right? Okay, this is interesting. Even if this isn't your particular addiction, this is still useful to you, I'm hearing. Okay, so it's like when you're happy, what do you eat? When you're sad, what do you eat? You know, what, and then really look at the symbolism of that particular food or whatever it is that you're consuming or buying. It doesn't have to be food, but it's like, what is it? Is it fruit? What does fruit mean to you? What is the symbol? If it's a strawberry, what does the strawberry mean? It's something like that is trying to tell you something about what's going on inside of you. It's very interesting. You are going to have a realization about something that's been in your way here. And I feel like there's something going on here about somebody else. It's not enabling it, but it's like helping to create the obstacle. Okay. In the past, we have Ten of Swords with celebrate your wins. You should celebrate that something very difficult and painful came to an end. And it came to an end because you trusted your intuition about something and because you overcame an obstacle. So this is another pattern. In the past, there's something difficult, a difficult connection, a work situation, whatever, family dynamic. You overcame it. I feel like it sucked. I feel like it was hard, but you won because you got yourself out of something that another would not have been able to. And you won because you did what was right for you. Now you're in a place dealing with a different kind of obstacle, and you can do the same thing here. You can have the same outcome, the same win, but I feel like you're trying to avoid some kind of pain related to this obstacle. Don't let others distract you either with shiny things. I'm getting this example. If a job that you know you don't really like, but maybe it offers vacations or it pays really well or there's some perks involved, but you know that like in 6 months from now you'd be absolutely miserable. Don't let those shiny things become the obstacle to your real success and empowerment. This is very interesting because in the future we have the Ace of Swords with welcome the divine masculine. So there's a divine masculine about to enter your life, whether that's the divine masculine within, which is probably the case, or a divine masculine on the other side of this obstacle here. And then if that is the message for you, that there's a counterpart coming in for you, then you need to go beyond superficial traits and qualities of others and look into their spirit and soul more. You also need to consider when evaluating a mate, I'm hearing, what wins have they had in their life? What difficulties have they overcome? Okay, this is a big message here. Regardless of whether this is about love or friends or whatever, those people in your life, what Ten of Swords situations have they had in their life and how did they overcome them or go through them? How did they pick themselves up and carry on like you did? Or are they still in that energy? Are you around people who just won't let things go? Or just are not transmuting their own energy and evolving and changing? And therefore, their own energy is like an obstacle to themselves. What do you find common ground with those people, if anything? And if you don't, maybe they're the obstacle. There's like-minded people about to enter your life here who have been through some challenges in a similar fashion as you. Lots of fears here, lots of unknowns. 3 Cups, yes, some people about to enter your life. And they have great strength, just like you. And part of them having this great strength is they may not necessarily flaunt it on the outside. It might not be something you can see. For example, if they went through a financial hardship and now they've come into a lot of success based on their own hard work. It's not like they're going to be driving around like a fancy car to let everyone know. No, because this lesson, I'm just using this as an example, could be, but this lesson of financial hardship or whatever is something that they took at a soul level, not an ego level. So they don't need to parade their ego around. Same thing with like looks and beauty and things like this. yeah, I don't know, something about it not being obvious how powerful this person is, this divine masculine. And if this is you, welcome the divine masculine. This is strategy, rationale, how to remove this remove this obstacle. Interesting, because before I was saying going around it, going over it, recognizing the pattern, but the divine masculine wants to remove it altogether. Okay, so that it doesn't reappear. It's kind of cryptic. It's interesting. Okay, Spirit, anything else here for group 3? Rest. Oh, look at this. Okay, look at these 2 whales that you're looking at in here. Maybe love connection, maybe 2 aspects of yourself. And now look, here they are free. Well, they're dolphins here, but you know, same idea. And they're free and they're playing, and it's restful and it's peaceful and it's fun. It's fun. You are coming into a period of grace, I'm hearing, and stability, truth and clarity. Any messages about this obstacle to help out further, Spirit? Sacred wisdom. These kind of wanted to come out. Boundaries and protection. Group 2 had this too. You might want to take a look at that if you feel guided to. But sacred wisdom here. Oh. I'm looking at this, which looks like the obstacle here. See? And I'm hearing you are the obstacle. It's that simple. Even if it's someone else, really, it's your perception about it. It's the way you handle it. You are the obstacle. And if you are the obstacle, you know how to like maneuver it, get rid of it, go around it, whatever it is you need to do here. If you're looking for love, you know, it's just changing, making slight adjustments into your expectations here, which is don't get rid of your values and morals and things like that and your base standards, but the shiny things are not important here. And including within your own life. Some of you really need to reduce what you own because it's a distraction. You know, when we have a lot of things, it makes it harder to move. Like literally move. And so that's okay. Like sometimes people want to be planted and they don't want to go anywhere. But if you're in a place of transition, which usually happens after the Ten of Swords, then you want to be light enough to be able to go with the flow. You also want your space to reflect your peace of mind. Is your space restful? All right, group 3. I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you next time.